Well, the fucking Gen Z in me won't fucking die. I'm back. I told myself consistently, I think this is a little bit weird. I think that there's something going on. This isn't normal. This can't be happening to everybody right now. It's literally impossible, right? And so, I would always tell myself, like, you should, like, be, like, keeping a journal, you know? You should be, like, consistently writing about, like, the weird things that you encounter, and then the weird, like, things that you figure out, and, like, I look like I am balding, and, the weird things, okay, right? So I didn't do that. So, I'm itching to get my words out, and, so I would like to, share briefly what I have and still stand behind, and then, further what, I wish that I had wrote. So, long story short, my life's been, like, pretty weird the whole time. I'm just weird. Like, you'll see, like, I just, like, never really fit in or whatever. But I never really thought much of it, because, like, I kind of assumed that's how everybody felt deep down. But as I went on, let's see, I'm like, let's just fucking fast forward to, like, fucking 19, alright? So, hello, it's fucking December 23rd, 2020, right? I am fucking posted up in my apartment, and I, let's see, 6 months ago, it was like June, August time, very odd things began happening in my life. I remember I, had begun protesting, George Floyd's, hold. So essentially, I'm not sure of the exact date, but this man died, at the hands of, there was 3 police officers. I remember one was named Michael, there was an Asian dude, and then I think there was another white dude. It was, like, pretty big news here. I'm, like, go in the Wayback Machine, or, like, the Way Forward Machine. I'm not really sure where I'm at, like, literally, but, he was shot and killed for, he had a, like, $20 bill, and the cashier thought that it was fake. So the police were called, and, there was an altercation. I didn't watch the video, because it's, like, just incredibly sad. But, he gets restrained, and he's on the ground, and the officer, Michael, he puts his knee on the back of his neck, and George Floyd dies. In the wake of that, there was what the mainstream media started calling, like, a racial awakening within America. And I, along with, my roommate at the time, and, like, my closest friend at the time, we began protesting, and, we were immediately, being watched by the police. They would take notes, specifically on me, and I assumed it was just my brown skin. But I continuously was having notes taken on me, and I started having, really weird interactions with the police. I had, like, a taillight out, and so I would get pulled over every night that I, like, tried to drive anywhere. Admittedly, like, I probably shouldn't have driven, but I wasn't just getting tickets. Like, they would treat me really weird, and, like, when I would go out of, like, my hometown area and I would drive somewhere else and be pulled over, there was this consistent tone of, like, it would be a normal traffic stop, this, like, officer would be, like, fairly apprehensive, and then they would, like, go and search my name after I gave them my ID and my information, and they would come back completely fine. They would drop all of the, like, fake aggression, and, like, just, like, you're free to go. They would just let me go, like, which I find very odd. And those, like, weird patterns just kind of, progress, through several weird interactions with people. Lots of, just confusion and disambiguation began taking place in my life. And it started through, like, Spotify. I really don't want to talk about it, but, like, essentially, like, somebody just got really under my skin very intentionally, and I lost my mind, but I was completely conscious of the fact that I had not lost my mind. I was, like, comatose, fucking schizophrenic, like, or, like, catatonic schizophrenic. I felt comatose, though. And I lived at another address, at the time. It was in, like, the north end of Boise, Idaho. And, I lived with my other roommate. And her health started deteriorating, alongside of mine. And so, that's what it was. I don't fucking know. But, I began experiencing, like, really weird things. Time began syncing up with seemingly everything I did. And time would speed up and slow down, and I would skip days whilst still awake, and I would, like, move backwards, and I could feel myself getting, like, pulled forwards and backwards, like, within whatever fucking, like, weird shit that I'm in. I have no idea. But, it made me really sick. And, I was realizing I have, like, cotton mouth right now, so that's why my mouth is dry. But at the time, so I had moved out to this, like, current location, and I had a nightmare of a time when I first moved in. I went what felt like crazy. I was not really doing much. I felt, like, incapable of really getting a lot done because I would sit in my house and I would go through these, like, cycles of thought over and over and over, and they would play off of, like, the same things every time. And I'm not a stupid person. I'm not stupid. I am, like, very interested in psychology. I could, you know, like, I be knowing shit, okay? I know how to fucking think about what the fuck I'm thinking about and stop thinking about it, okay? I'm like, whew. It makes me angry because it's, like, belittling to try to, like, lead me to believe that, like, I can't take care of myself, and that's why I'm, like, having something done to me, whilst the only thing that is, like, preventing me from taking care of myself is what is being done to me. It's, like, prescribed pills to offset the shakes to offset the pills. Yeah. And I would continuously, I, like, love listening to music, and so that's what I'm always doing. And I began to notice after coming out here, there was a time period, there's, like, 3 days where I lived the same day for 3 days. And I know this because I remember specifically thinking, oh, I wonder what well, like, just, like, thinking about, like, the previous day and then the next day for multiple days, and I realized by the fucking third day that the fucking date on my phone had not changed. So, around that time, I began listening to albums in whole, and they began syncing up with me, and it began to get really scary, and I'm not exactly sure as to why, because now I do the same thing, but they, like, I can, this sounds really insane, but I'm like, I swear to fucking everything. This is, like, for real. I can, like, go into an album and, like, be like, hey, I'm trying to, like, I want to learn about blah, blah, blah. Or I want to learn about, how I fit into whatever I'm going through, you know? Because, for a long time, I have accepted the fact that this is not how normal people live, okay? Normal people don't have their, like, before I had even moved into the North End and before all this crazy shit started happening, I got, like, doxxed by the police when I was at those protests. I got IP banned from, like, a bunch of Cerebus subsidiaries. And at the same time, like, that same night that I was getting, like, IP banned from all these websites because I was, like, looking them up and, like, writing down the sketchy shit that they were doing, a guy tried to break into my house. I was getting followed, just really weird shit. And my phone got tapped. I was trying to fucking sign up for coronavirus testing, and a fucking file got downloaded on my phone that I could never locate again. It just, like, seemingly disappeared. Essentially what happened was I typed in, like, I was, like, signing up for coronavirus testing, and then I went to use autofill to fill in my information, and then it Face ID'd me for that, and then a second time, and that second time opened up my Files app, which then I saw, like, a file, like, download, just how they normally do, and then it, like, disappeared. Like, legitimately, like, the gestures on the bottom, like, of the screen, because I had an iPhone X, legitimately looked like somebody had swiped it up, and then it, like, swipes up again, goes to the side, goes back to the fucking Write It app, and it fucking, like, clicks in, and I'm like, I was out there with my roommate, and so we're like, okay, so, like, we're in fucking, like, China or some shit, like, I had never realized at any other point how we were, like, living under a fascist regime more than at that point in particular. I remember thinking to myself, what is the difference between, like, what's going on right now and what we are consistently demonizing China for doing in every fucking, like, history class I can remember going to. Like, I felt like I was in the midst of, like, Tiananmen Square, like, legitimately, like, that's, like, what the times were, like, paralleling for me, because I had, there was just, seeing, like, I'm fairly sure that I'm not, living in a world where, the majority of people are. I think this stuff may have not happened necessarily to everybody else, so heed my warning, I guess. Like, that's actually weird as fuck. I can't believe I just said that. But there's no free internet. There's, like, no free web. Very, like, controlled, just, like, shamelessly, things being hidden, things being changed. There was a story about Jeffrey Epstein, and so he had been arrested, finally, got convicted in 2003, got let off on some shady Fed shit. They made, like, a fucking, like, low-key deal with him, and then maybe, I think it was 2020, maybe it's 2019, he finally gets convicted, goes to prison, dies. He's not dead. BTW, like, I'm, like, pretty sure, but he after that, his wife got arrested, and she was talking, and she snitched out a bunch of people. Not saying it's a bad thing, but she, like, put a fucking list down of people, and one of those was Ellen DeGeneres, and her show was then coming under fire for, like, her name being on the flight logs of Jeffrey Epstein's, like, rape island, and then a few days later, I remember seeing those articles, and there was, like, a shit ton of memes about it, and then, like, 3 days later, all that shit's gone. Those memes are taken off the fucking internet. All of the websites are replaced with, like, they totally changed the story and said that she was, like, bullying a fat kid. Like, no, she was bullying, like, a young kid and like, was calling him fat. I'm sorry. And, like, I'm like, she was bullying a fat kid, like, but they were saying, like, that's the reason that her show was, like, on the line or whatever. And I was under the impression that it got canceled, but, like, I saw it on TV, like, once kind of recently, so whatever. Just another example of fucking disambiguation or whatever the fuck, like, I don't even know how to say it, like, why would I need to? I'm fucking 19, like, why do I have to concern myself with this shit? That's not normal in the first place, and I can't be fucking, time cannot be synced with everybody on the fucking planet unless everybody is steady moving in the exact same way. That don't make no fucking sense. That doesn't make no fucking sense, okay? Like, that's not possible. That's just simply not possible. It's just not, like, you know, and so I'm, like, not really sure about, like, how I be operating, you know, I'm, like, I definitely, like, have, like, thought that I was, like, dead, like, so many times, dude. Like, it's like, kind of played out. Like, it used to be, like, funny, you know? It used to be like, oh, like, fucking got, you know, like, got me again, like, uh-oh, you know, like, fuck, I guess I'll be alive again, you know, like, but, now it's just, like, like, I'm, like, I don't really care, like, I don't know if I'm, like, I'm just a person, okay, I'm just a person fucking vibing, like, that's literally as specific I can get. Outside of that, like, it's a big old question mark. And I am sane, and I have a good head on my shoulders, obviously, like, I am, like, kind of baked, so I'm, like, stuttering, but, like, I can, like, think thoughts, you know, I can, conceptualize things fairly, like, I mean, incredibly well, to be honest, like, I can put things on a fucking timeline, like, we're good, but I don't know if I'm dead or alive. Like, what? Why is that? I was completely fine, like, 6 months ago, and the fact that 6 months has passed is honestly absolutely insane. This is my second month in this apartment, but a few days after moving in, after that 3-day span, where times got really weird, I began seeing a counselor, who would help me, like, meditate and ground myself, and, go to this, like, I don't know, this place where you see, like, interpretations of your dreams or, like, symbols from them or something. And, I began, like, I continued listening to albums in full, but they kind of, like, took a weird turn. I started, like, hearing shit, like, it wasn't, like, there was, like, something, like, speaking to me or something, like, I don't, like, hear, like, I don't, like, hear, like, someone, like, talking to me, like, over my shoulder, you know? But when I'm listening to this music, like, shit will, like, pop into my head. Like, it will remind me of things. Kind of like if you heard, like, I don't know, fucking, just your fucking old favorite song and you would, like, you know, like, get reminded of when you used to listen to it or something. I began getting, like, that, but for things that I didn't know. Stuff that I did not, you know, like, stuff that has nothing to do with me, like, or at least it says, like, it's, like, or at least it seems, or whatever, like, I can listen to I can listen to a song, holy shit. I do want to comment on the fact that, like, it has probably been, like, 30 minutes since I, like, breathed, in that fucking, like, fat-ass puff of smoke, and I think that, I hit the fucking boof pack, like, 2 times, okay? I fucking smoke weed all fucking day. So I'm like, I don't really think I'm actually that high. I will go ahead and, like, damn, I didn't really think this was gonna be that long. But I will, like, give you guys, like, an example. Let's see. So, what I noticed once I started, like, kind of making the connection in between, these, like, smells, and I get headaches, and I feel like I would start to feel incredibly disassociated, like, head in the clouds feeling, like, so spacey that, like, I question if I can drive sometimes, like, I feel, like, almost drunk, but it's not enjoyable at all, and, let's see, I noticed that, these things, whatever's in my air, whatever's in my water, is, like, for a period of time after consuming it or having it, like, ingested within my body, it decreases my mental function, like, legitimately. I can still think, and it took me a really long time to believe that I could still think whilst under the influence of whatever fucking, like, mind shit they fucking, like, got me fucking sipping on, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some, like, there's, like, weird tones, and I'm not exactly sure how they did it, to be honest. This is actually something I've never fucking thought about, but I really have no idea. There was, like, I had the impression that I'm just fucking living, okay? Like, I went through my entire fucking life, like, fucking normal, okay? I went to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, fucking 4th, 5th, 6th, all the way up to fucking 11th, fucking drop the fuck out, right? Fuck that shit. Get my fucking GED, get the, like, you know, like, okay, like, yeah, I got, like, locked up, like, I made some fucking dumb choices, but all of those instances are, like, incredibly, like, shady and coincidental as well, and all parallel, like, with things that are going on right now, and this has been an incredibly large shift in thinking, like, try to fucking tell me, like, I don't know, a year ago about what I'm saying right now, and I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. I'd be like, you, I'd be like, are you okay? Like, do you need something? Like, do you need to go to, like, the hospital? Do you need to, like, go to, like, a mental, like, institution? Like, do you need to talk to, like, a counselor? Like, are you okay? Like, let's get you to a psychiatrist. I have, like, been through that so many times with myself that it's, like, literally, like, off limits thinking for me at this point. Yeah, I'm like, that's fine. I am, like, I had convinced myself that I was going insane, and I tried to convince myself that none of this was happening, and, that's when I actually went insane, because it's so prevalent in my life at this point that I have to literally deny my innate reality to convince myself that this shit isn't happening, and it's pretty shitty sometimes. I'm like, I'm a nice fucking person, okay? I don't hurt people. I fucking stay inside all day. I don't go outside anymore. Like, and I'm, like, completely fine. I feel good, you know? I fucking clean my house. I listen to music. I fucking, like, smoke weed. I fucking write my journal. Like, you know, I'm just, like, out here fucking, you know, being a fucking introvert until I fucking put the fucking camera on, right? And so it's, like, you know, I'm just, like, doing my thing, like, why the fuck am I here? Like, and I have no memory of why I'm here. I don't, and, like, to get to a point of being able to, like, confidently distinguish yourself apart from, like, planet Earth, like, that's, like, weird. That's weird. That's not normal. And it took me a long time to, like, get there, and so, like, I'm just, like, trust me that, like, this is just statistically, like, not possible. Like, I had to start thinking about it in mathematics. Like, it is not possible for all of these, like, coincidences through what seems like synchronization to happen coincidentally. It's not possible. It's, like, it's literally just physically impossible. Like, there has to be something behind it for it to continuously happen. And I, at first, thought that it was my fault, and I was, like, misusing the law of attraction or something, and then, like, my fear was, like, amplifying its effects or something. But I realized that that's not possible, because with how scary this shit was, and how, like, I literally moved to a new city. I stopped talking to all of my friends. And this was, like, by choice, you know, like, I, like, still, like, talk to them, you know, I don't, you know, like, but I, like, completely removed myself from, I thought that the old house I was at was just fucking haunted. I thought that I was just getting fucking ghosted, you know? So I'm like, okay, like, we'll burn some fucking sage, we'll burn some fucking, like, I don't know, what the hell is it called? Sweetgrass. Okay, right, we'll light some fucking candles, we'll sing fucking Kumbaya, and I'll dip, and I'll be good, right? No. This shit followed me, and not only that, but I've been really, like, interested in, like, human psychology and just, like, psychology in general, because I, like, suffered from, like, depression and anxiety and things of that nature, OCD, when I was younger, and I wanted to figure out how to, like, to fix myself, you know? Learning about it gives you, like, ways to, you know, when you can see, like, the things that you've been doing and give it a name, and then you see, like, what helped other people, you can, like, follow in their footsteps. And so I know myself, like, inside out. Like, I really do. Myself, fucking Ansel Perry, fucking born May 18th, fucking 2001, up until today. That is what I know, definitively, right? Actually, just fucking kidding. No, I don't. Because, like, that is, like, how fucked, like, through, like, these songs, like, the memories that, like, I will get are, like, they'll be, like, flashes into either the future or the past or, like, somewhere else, like, literally. And, like, I skipped physics when I was in high school. I'm, like, pretty sure, like, didn't really fuck with chemistry. Like, I don't fuck with science, bro. I'm, like, I like to read, like, you know, I don't fucking do math, like, I'm just, like, a normal person, so I'm like, why am I sitting here, like, pondering how I can fix, like, physics equations, and why am I, like, trying to, like, pin down timelines, and why am I having, like, what seem like visions, or some fucking shit, why am I, like, getting, like, memories or remembering shit that, like, I was not there for? I don't know, but it's weird. But there's those things, and then there's, like, the light and shit that, like, seems to, like, permeate my fucking vision every time I smell, like, peanut butter or, like, taste something sweet on my lips, like, out of nowhere. And these things will, like, settle on my, like, this, like, whatever is, like, in the air will, like, settle on my food when it gets really bad, and it will, like, leave a specific taste, like, black licorice, is something that I tasted before. Some of them are just kind of, like, tasteless, but, like, thicker, like, the air is, like, thicker or something. It's really fucking weird, and it has taken a lot to, like, keep myself mentally stable, knowing that, like, I, am potentially, like, I'm on some Auschwitz shit, bruh, like, I'm getting gassed in my apartment, and I can't go anywhere else. Like, you know, like, it's like, what are you gonna do? Fucking, like, you just gonna fucking sleep in the street in fucking winter? Like, no, like, why, you know, so, like, you're fucked, essentially. And so, unless you, like, unmind fuck yourself, like, in your own head, and, like, man, this shit's been fucking crazy. But, I, like, in my journal, I have a pretty good example of how quickly it would, like, deteriorate my, like, mental function. And, I, like, in what felt like legitimate protest, like, would sometimes, like, continue sitting the fuck down, and I would keep writing. Because, like, I would write stuff down, and, like, I would get to a certain point that, like, I never really, like, could fucking, like, pin down, like, just a question about, like, what was going on. That, like, just seemed to, like, stay, and, like, in those moments, like, I would get, like, tired. Like, I seem to get tired at, like, very specific times, and, like, my mind will just go blank, and I won't be able to remember what the fuck I was just thinking of. Like, out of nowhere. And I'm like, I wonder why that is. Like, it feels like I'm thinking about, like, fucking forbidden knowledge or something, you know? Like, it's like fucking, it's like you're at school and you're on the fucking school Wi-Fi and you try to like, type in fucking tits or some shit, and, like, the fucking firewall comes up, and, like, fucking, like, the principal calls you in or some shit. But, like, me looking up tits is, me wondering, like, how did I get here? And then, like, the principal coming to get me is, like, I don't know, fucking me smelling like what, I could picture, like, a fucking jar of, like, freshly ground peanut butter fucking opening right under my noses, and then, like, fucking, I don't know, getting a fucking migraine later, like, on some weird shit. But this is a pretty good example. So here I am writing. Let's see. And so I have this marked as 117, and I said that I noticed gusts of air coming from my left, and this is the day that I took the smoke alarm off originally. This is December 8th, okay. And so I, like, could feel, like, gusts of fucking air hitting my face, and I'm like, my fucking air vent is, like, you know, it's, like, there, and, like, I have, like, heaters, like, in my baseboards, but, like, it was coming out of, like, from over here, you know, like, and so I'm a little fucking suspicious, because I started feeling, like, really spacey, and so I start writing shit down, and, so I started, like, writing down, like, what I was observing, and I said that I became, like, really photosensitive, and, like, this is, like, the same how I felt the whole time, like, when these things would happen. Super photosensitive, and then I would feel, like, incredibly, like, naive and gullible, like, this is something that I've gotten over, but at the time, I would, like, when I kind of got like that, I would feel, like, childlike, almost. I, like, wouldn't know what to think or what to, like base myself upon, like what decisions to make, because like I would like have thoughts in my own head, in my own voice, just like, okay, like, see, like, oh my god, it just happened. Okay, so like I was going to do that as like an example, and I think at this point it's just like a habit that I'm trying to break, but I didn't like do it to myself, you know? I don't know what the fuck it is, but like I was in my head, I was just going, you know, and then like fucking out of nowhere comes fucking dick and balls. Okay, like that's like not funny. I don't find that funny. That's just like annoying. And like I have had like issues with, I've just renamed it OCD, so because I don't, man, like what am I gonna fucking like call it by the fucking like government fucking op name, like, you know, like no, it's just my OCD, like, right? And so like I would have like these thoughts that seemed like they were coming from me, like they're not outside of my head or anything, but often like opposing my actual core values, often like just saying something like innately triggering, and like I thought that maybe it was out of like, first I thought that it was myself, you know, but I realized like why the fuck would I just like say like horrible things. Like I started getting like fucking racist in my head, dude. Like I would like see someone walking down the street and I would like I would comment on their weight, and I'd comment on like their race in my head, and like say like something rude after, and like that's not who I don't do that, you know? Like I make fucking jokes, like I am like one, like, yeah, I can be like, you know, like I can be fucking spicy, you know what I'm saying, but like not on some shit like that, you know? And very, very weird. And so like that is where that kind of like naiveness started to take place and like solidify in me, because I kind of like legitimately lost myself, because I realized that our concept of self comes from like the decisions that we make and the memories that we have based on like what's around us, right? Like the difference between me and like, I don't know, somebody sitting next to me, seeing what I have around me. I will like show you. This is what I have, right? And so the difference between me and the other person, we could be like incredibly similar people. We could have like the same personality type, the same IQ, like all the same whatever the fuck, right? Similar life experiences, but like what would like make us different is when they see this fucking vape, they would think one thing and I would think the other, right? And if we both thought, oh wow, it's cool vape, or like, oh, that tastes good, we would have like different memories based on like what the good vape was, you know? Like maybe I would think of like, oh, this reminds me of that fucking like sick ass fucking Rick and Morty vape that I got last time I went to the vape store that tastes like a fucking Monster Energy drinks, true story. And the fucking other person would be like, oh, it reminds me of when I don't know, got caught fucking vaping in class or something. I don't know, like fucking whatever. And that's the separation between those two people, right? But through like that and just like having like conflicting thoughts seemingly out of nowhere, I was no longer sure how I truly stood on this vape, right? I knew that it tasted good, but I began questioning, should I hit it? Should I not hit it? Do I still want to vape? Does it taste good? Like, just like, I no longer knew how to like assert myself in my own environment, which sounds like really weird because I'm surrounded by inanimate objects, but like when you listen to your favorite album and you no longer like find comfort in it and it scares you, like that's when you like lose yourself. Because if you don't have like your memories and they're not like tangible anymore, and you don't have like all that precursor to yourself, you are essentially nothing. And I felt like that is like how I felt like I had like lost my soul. I felt like I had that shit stolen from me, and I have gotten it back, and it was through like, you know, quote unquote, but it was through like legitimate hard fucking work, like legitimate like intentional effort to fight through the, like, legitimate trauma that I've, like, gained from, like, nothing, because I've been inside for, like, 6 months now. Like, legitimately. Like, I don't really go outside. And if I do, it's to, like, go for a walk or, like, go to the grocery store. Like, I don't do shit, bro. I don't go the fuck outside, right? And so I'm, like, busting my ass just to fucking feel like a normal person, which is, like, also really weird. But I was also talking about, like, the different smells that I would get, and I would talk about, like, feeling under the influence and, like, a false mental health ploy. Like, I am mentally stable. I am very on my ass about my mental health, and for good fucking reason, like, living within this, but I definitely, like, still feel disassociated and still, like, get scared at things that never scared me before, you know? And getting incredibly nauseous, getting incredibly tired, getting headaches, muscle cramps, muscle weakness. I, like, started to, like, smell really weird, and it seemed like my body was, like, legitimately decaying from whatever was going on. Something within my fucking cells, dog, I don't even know. But, you can see here, my handwriting begins to change pretty fucking quickly. So, like, this is what my handwriting looked like previously, like, when it first started. And so I was able to, like, hold it together. You can see at, like, certain parts, like, when it, like, gets, like, kind of bad, like, I will, like, start misspelling words as well. Like, I remember I spelled crumb with no B, and that just, like, really stood out to me for some reason. But, like, you go from this, and then, like, I am writing in chicken scratch. And it says, like, and reading this feels, like, apocalyptic to me. It's, like, very, like, scary, to be honest. I went, the gases created a film on the environment similar to black licorice on the straw of the drink I left during the Holocaust. We be making jokes. Same thing was noticed eating food after about an hour after opening, was noticed while eating food about an hour after opening it around 7 o'clock. I'm going to go outside and see what transpires, but I think I'm going to begin tracking how washing off after getting tested to see if washing off the residue helps the recovery the recovery time. Because I was trying to, like, shorten, like, the amount of time it took me to feel, like, normal again. Because, like, previously, like, it would, like, come over me like a wave, and then I would just, like, be so, like, spaced out. I would just be, like, fucking brain dead for the rest of the day, and I couldn't do anything. And, like, that's not what I want, you know? Like, it can't be a law of attraction situation, because it's something that I inherently don't want, and I put in the work to avoid those things, but they still come to me, you know? So, like, it can't be, like, the law of attraction, like, you know, like, I'm not, like, mind-fucking myself into something that I'm, like, un-mind-fucking myself out of, you know? Like, that doesn't make sense. Let's see. Sweet taste coming from my throat, and the classic Benzedrine decay sweat. Felt a wave of heat and then got nauseated again. I was gonna stay and see if I can write it out, but I really don't think I could. I'm very sick again. Very fast. Also, my hair is falling out. I have gray skin. And some family business, you know what I'm saying? Okay, but, yeah, so my handwriting would, like, continuously deteriorate, and I would have, like, these periodic, like, I swear I've moved through, like, so many different theories of, like, what is going on to me, and, like, I genuinely thought at this point that, like, I was over it. I thought that, like, maybe, like, I was in jail, maybe I was, like, on some weird dream shit, I have no idea. But I thought that I'd, like, surpassed that, and that I was, like, cool, and, like, I was, like, fine, and that I was just going to, like, live here, and, you know, like, yay, like, woo, I'm, like, good. Started, like, meditating, like, practicing, like, different, like, facets of, like, different, like, branches of Buddhism and shit. Like, I'm like, okay, like, we're, like, finding ourselves, right? But the most, like, recent and the most, like, interesting to me was, I have a shit ton of, like, physics shit written down, and then, like, things about the First World War, like, disambiguation or whatever. Like, there was a point in time where I couldn't tell you what the simplest fucking sentence would mean. And it was not because I was, like, losing my mind, it's because I had begun to read into my environment to find, like, these hidden meanings that were, like, sprinkled everywhere. And, like, it sounds like that's something that you would just, like, want to not do. I, like, really fuck with the album Selfish Machines by Pierce the Veil. And so, like, to the concept of what's so good about picking up the pieces, in here, you get to a point where you don't even, like, you don't see it as picking up fucking pieces, but, and the reason that you don't see it as picking up pieces is because that is, like, legitimately all you have of not only what you once were, but what you're consistently being, like, led to, and, like, remembering, like, little by little of, like, there being more than just this. I know that I was not just born into fucking a gas chamber, okay? That don't make no fucking sense. There's something before this, but I remember, like, being, like, 2-3 years old. And I can remember literally my entire life. So, you know, like, someone motherfucker tell me something did that, you know? My life has always been odd, right? Definitely not on some normal shit. But it's definitely, like, I was definitely never getting fucking gassed in my own fucking bedroom, okay? Like, seriously. And just, like, the concept of drug design, changing how your brain processes, like, different, stimuli and how it, like, the drug design can change how your brain, I just had a brain fart. So, just, like, go to the Wikipedia page for drug design. But, like, I have some shit to do, so, like, I really didn't expect this to be, like, that long, but I literally don't talk because I'm just, like, alone all the time, which sounds like it would drive you crazy, but, like, I have, like, plenty of shit to do. I'm, like, I really want to, like, figure out, like, what is going on, but, like, I'm also really careful about doing that too much, because, like, I don't want to, like, have that be, like, my only world, you know? I still want to have, like, a sense of normalcy, like, within, like, the absence of, you know? I'm, like, we can curate some, so, you know, all of that. But I do want to, point out a couple things. Synchronicity would only occur, like, with positive effects after repeated acknowledgement and correctments of, like, the negative effects, that would be thought to be synchronicity. Like, if something is happening to you consistently that is negative, and you have identified the problem, or what you thought was the problem, I am the only one here in this environment, so of course I'm going to take the responsibility and say that, like, it's something that I am creating, right? So once you take the responsibility and you find a solution and you practice that solution, it should stop, right? It's literally like if it's something in my fucking head, I can literally, like, you know, if I can't stop saying fucking dick and balls in my fucking head, right? Like, I'm just gonna, like, acknowledge that I think it's annoying that I say dick and balls in my head, and then I'm gonna be like, so what am I gonna do when I start fucking thinking dick and balls, right? I'm just gonna turn on a song and, like, focus on it, so, like, you know, my attention is, like, out of my head, and I will be focusing on this song instead of the word dick and balls, right? That makes sense. And so, like, having these things consistently pop back up, along with, like, having those things, like, relate back to, like, time and, like, different, like, events and shit, that literally physically cannot be on accident. Let's see, the concept of, like, I definitely feel like I have, like, PTSD. Today when I took this smoke alarm off, I, again, had the same reaction. I started screaming and I closed my eyes, and I got in the fetal position, and then I like tucked my legs like this, and like I'm grown, okay? Like I'd be listening to it I Mean It by G-Eazy. Like, ever so I'm never scared, just know I fucking mean it, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just be like chilling, but like for me to, and I was listening to like my favorite album, right? And so I'm out here vibing, right? I'm like picking out what I'm gonna wear, and taking that off. And then also Martin Cabello III's live stream, he began talking about how zinc in the body can be used as an antenna to like communicate messages, and then like when that message is like communicated, it creates deterioration within the body. He explained it a lot better, but hearing that was a guttural reaction, just like taking the smoke alarm off, just like any kind of PTSD victim would react when faced with the thing that has hurt them. I closed my eyes and I cowered and I started screaming, and I have no memory of ever knowing what that's from. I don't know why I would think zinc being in my body is scary, and I don't know why I feel so confident that that's like important. And I don't know why it scared me so much, because like I haven't been physically attacked. Like I haven't. I'm like alone. But it's like these little things. This is the point that I think I was trying to make like 20 minutes ago. Like they've somehow curated this atmosphere of like fear and unease like within my own space that nobody like, and like this is like I'm an introvert now. I used to be extroverted, but I don't fuck with people no more. And like I just fucking like post up by my fucking self, and I still like out of nowhere I'll be having like good fucking vibes too, and then like something will happen and it will like, and like something in the vibe, I'm like, I wouldn't quite pass a fucking vibe check no more, right? And so I'm like, that's a little fucking odd. But for my final fucking little blip, lots of like interesting things in music. I'm not really sure where my life is going, to be honest, but I would like to figure out what this is and like do something about it, because like not okay. Like I'm pretty sure that I'm the first person to go through this. If I'm not, I genuinely don't think that this is something that other people would have survived. I had a really good head on my shoulders, and like I've been really interested in like psychology, and I just kind of like innately like understand like the human like psyche for some reason, and so I've been like really like I definitely have not felt like I was staying afloat the whole time, don't get me wrong, but like I've done a really good job of like falling and like feeling like and it's like nothing major has even happened. I mean, like my hand went through a fucking major stuff has happened actually. Like my entire world like fell apart, all my shit broke, all my relationships like got really weird all at once. But like the last big thing that happened was I pushed my hand like through my window on accident when I was opening it, and like this is my scar. It like went through my like tattoo for my grandma, and I like started bleeding into my sink. Well, I like first had to like pull my fucking wrist out of the fucking glass, and like I'm squeamish, dude, like, but I pulled it out, like, I just knew that, like, that's what I had to do in the moment for some reason, and there was blood all over my hands, and I could see, like, my innards, like, popping out through my fucking cut, and I walk over to my kitchen, and I start passing out with, like, blood in the sink, and I fall onto the ground, and after that, there's like several things that could have happened. Like I'm pretty sure I have like false memories, to be honest, and so that's why previously I was like, I don't really like, like I can like remember like literally like what I like originally remember my life being like, and then like I like started to remember things from like before this, but I'm not sure if they come after, like, I get myself out of whatever the fuck is going on, or if it's, like, before, and I'm also, like, remembering, like, some weird, like, oh my god, dude, like, and I think I have also been seeing, like, potential, like, timelines of, like, potential outcomes of, like, maybe, like, whatever I'm thinking about in the moment. It's gotten fucking weird, but, like, it's real, like, genuinely. Like, but okay. Sorry for talking so much. I'm like, if this, like, ever actually matters, like, it will, like, be edited, hopefully, or, like, somebody will put, like, some music behind my fucking, you know, like, someone fucking edit some fucking cool shit in the background so people don't get bored. But this is what I call the selfish machines experience, okay? I would like to take y'all back to fucking September 2020, okay? That was when I first bought Selfish Machines by Pierce the Veil on CD, okay? And that was a fucking point when my motherfucking life changed, right? I be having, like, theories and shit, you know, but essentially I love that album, and it seems to I've, like, always, like, praised it personally. I'm like, I don't fucking talk to anybody, but, like, I've always praised it for being, like, a seemingly, like, perfect reflection of, like, the human psyche, and how it, like, moves through whatever the fuck I've been going through. Because coupled with, like, the dissim and whatever the fuck, and then, like, these other, like, weird, like, events that, like, seem to, like, parallel what happened in the album, like, on some weird shit. I thought that I maybe attracted it, but I'm, like, starting to think that that's not the case. But this was a while ago, and it was when I was listening to, like, music, and it first started, like, scaring the shit out of me. I'll just read you guys this, but basically, like, I would, like, start having panic attacks, and I would calm down. So this is, like, not just an entire, like, panic attack. Like, yeah, I'm not sure of what the day it was, but it was, like, early, December, if not, like, late November. But, okay, Selfish Machines experience, 12:25-ish. Okay, so I just started it from, like, the beginning, and, like, went to the bottom. I think this was the original. I don't think I was listening to the reissue, but I'm not really sure it matters. I go, in the course of 4 minutes, I was pumped, because, like, I'm, like, you know, like, I'm fucking, like, smoking, you know, it's, like, Saturday night, I'm, like, listening to my favorite album, like, I'm vibing, you know, like, I'm just, like, you know, like, whatever. But that mood changed by, like, by a fucking snap of a finger, right? Like, it goes, I was pumped, hyperventilated, and then went blank. Fear. Pure fear. Spiders. Mental anguish. This is, like, gross for me to read, to be honest, because I was sitting right here. My bed is right here. I was sitting right here. Had my headphones on, you know, fucking, like, got my fucking beats, feeling all fucking fresh and shit. And, like, I'm listening to this album, and I am freaking the fuck out all of a sudden. And I have probably listened to that shit at least, like, 50 times. Like, legitimately. I listen to it, like, every day, if not multiple times a day. I'm so serious. And I was kicking and screaming at the top of my lungs listening to this album. Like, the thoughts that it was triggering in my head, and then, like, feeling myself moving through, like, these, like, cycles of thoughts was the most terrifying thing that I had ever fucking experienced. And I have never experienced anything like that. And I have never reached, like, a similar level of fear, except for taking that fucking fire alarm off of my fucking wall. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is, okay? But it's, like, this album, like, honestly, like, any album. Really any album. Like, just music. So, but, like, there's, like, definitely, like, specific ones that it, like, happens to more. I think they're just, like, more, like, they're just, like, written better. But, I go, mental anguish. It was not me. Back to fear. I know. Glitches. Any touch is frightening. I say it's fine and calm, but it still returns. Hearing what hasn't been heard before, and, like, I have, like, listened to this album, like, so many times. Akin to psychedelic drug use. Sober but feel high. We're skipping that. Not me. Not us. Oh, shit. I was shaking. Currents convulsive. Like, there was times, like, when this stuff was getting really bad where, like, my voice would start to pixelate. And I would start, like, shaking, like, uncontrollably. But my mind would be completely calm. My mind would be completely calm, bro. I'm just, like, observing myself. Like, literally. Like, not out of my experience. Like, I'm, like, seeing myself, but I'm fucking shaking and I'm frozen. I can't fucking move. And, like, I remember, like, when that happens, like, sometimes, like, I've literally a couple times gone like this. And I'll stare at the same spot and I'll move forward. And sometimes I'll be able to look my eyes around and I'll just be like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? What the fuck? And, like, why would I do that to myself? Like, that doesn't, like, why, you know? And so, like, I'm, like, shaking. They remind me of the song Currents Convulsive. But, like, it'll feel like, I've pondered, like, am I in the fucking Matrix, bitch? Because, like, it'll feel like my shit's fucking blue screening, bro. Like, I'm fucking, like, I'm fucking glitching, you know what I'm saying? Like, things will, like, literally, like, pixelate around me. Like, and it sounds insane, but, like, I am mentally stable. Like, I am very mentally stable. And for, like, somebody to experience all these things and, like, still be able to, like, speak about them and, like, write them down and remember them, like, I, like, just want to, like, give myself credit, because it was hard, okay? Like, this shit has been, like, scary as fuck, so I'm proud of myself. But I go, Currents Convulsive. This is real. They know what I was going to do. Break, plateau. And so, like, I felt, like, fine again. I felt like, my head had came down. It, like, because it feels like I'm, like, high as fuck, like, when these things would happen, but I'm not. And, like, I tried quitting all drugs, you know, like, I tried, like, just getting sober. That didn't fucking do anything, okay? Like, that didn't do anything to fucking make shit stop. And so, like, I just started fucking, like, you know, like, fucking, like, self-medicating, essentially, and it seemed to have worked, but, at least a little bit, so, you know, that's cool. Fuck it, it's fun. And then I wrote, blue does not equal in the clear. Blank head felt cloudy. Gotta go before I go again. Detroit, shit writing and spelling. I think I'm the person mainly targeted. Scared again. And, like, mind, I'm, like, listening to, like, the album whilst writing this, and, like, the only time that I would go back to write something is, like, after I had, like, had something terrifying pop up in my head, fucking, like, go around the thought in fucking a couple circles, scream, fucking, like, try to hide, try to kick away something invisible at my feet, and then write down the first thought that comes to mind before I fucking get swept up. Like, literally, like, that's how, like, violent and turbulent it felt. But, like, I'm, like, literally just sitting on my floor, like, listening to an album that I love. I love this album. Like, I've heard it a billion times. So, like, why am I, like, why, what's different right now, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck, like, why would I try to make myself hate what I like? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make fucking sense. Why would I try to make myself hate the things that I, like, love and personally identify with? Why the fuck would I do that to myself? That doesn't make sense. Like, that, again, that shit don't make no fucking sense, okay? Like, I didn't do that shit. So, sick again. Ground shaking. Whipping my head back and forth. And, like, I was going like this, because, like, I felt like there was, like, shit around me. Like, I could feel, like people or something. Ooh, that scares the shit out of me. Oh, fuck no. Oh, fuck no. Ooh, ah. Oh, no. That's probably because there wasn't. Oh my fucking god. Okay, well, I'm just gonna gloss over that. That's like, I want to think about that a little bit more and like see if it like makes sense before I like go ahead and like share that with y'all. But there's something up with that. That's something that's like a thing. I go sick again. I get it. This is not happy. I feel calm again. Blank. I don't know where to turn. I'm alive but taken. This is hitting different right now, okay? Fuck. Wait, okay. I'm alive but taken. Fucked. They're telling me to shut the fuck up. Ew. Caleb Belknap. Moving like a fugitive. Thumbs up. Move like a fugitive tonight. Dance on the because I would rather. Okay, I was listening to I Don't Care If You're Contagious. Okay, I think that's like the 8th track on this fucking album, and so I'm like near the end. It's like 45 minutes long, so like probably like a half an hour in or some shit. Let's see. I go moving like a fugitive. This is not normal with 4 exclamation marks. Moving back to reversed focus. I have no idea. How do songs completely change meaning so quickly? I'm in a psych horror movie. Last song, quick panic attack, screaming. Now I want to hit my fucking face. And like, oh, now I want to hit my fucking vape. I lost my vape. This is crazy. This is actually the vape that I lost that night. Wait, no, it's not. Then what the fuck? How? Damn. See, like, and I'd be like losing shit, and like I don't go outside, so I'm like, you know, like I like knew that I like put this somewhere stupid, but like there's things that like go missing, and like it just like simply does not make sense. I go. I'm in a psych horror movie. Last song, quick panic attack, screaming. Now I want to hit my fucking vape. Guys. Back to blank. Sorry to Vic. Froze. Where's my super suit, nigga? I feel like it can't get up. They intentionally time thoughts in succession to lead you off track and gain misinformation. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm like I kind of go back and forth with like how much of this is like happened and then like what I'm like maybe I'm like remembering like you know like because I've like felt like this was like over, you know, but like sometimes I'll get triggered back into it, and like so I'm not really sure like where I was. Like this was definitely like in the middle of it for sure, like but I'm not really sure like where the line between like me doing it to myself and like it being like something outside of me like starts and begins, and I kind of just like I don't really need to know, like, you know, I don't really fucking care that much. That's not like gonna get me to like who the fuck like is responsible for this. And who was like responsible for this, okay? Because I know that people probably be having their fucking theories and shit, but like knowing like myself, I'm a nice person, and the people that I associate with are very kind-hearted people, and the people that like the people outside of like my jail self that I associate with are very kind-hearted people, and are very respectful and like kind. And so this is out-of-pocket behavior, okay? It's the feds, like, period. But like the like white feds, you know what I'm saying? Like where's my super suit, nigga? I feel like I can't get up. Damn, they got my ass good as fuck. So like this is like when I was like starting to like feel normal again, because like I like snapped out of it. Like it was like I was like under some kind of like spell, but obviously that's not actually like what it was, but like hypnotized or some fucking like pulled into some weird thought process, and like completely against my will. And I go, damn, they got my ass good as fuck. Just heard an audible groan behind me. I'm still rapidly deteriorating. I've come to the conclusion amphetamine is helpful in some way. I'm definitely at my worst when I'm sober, though I rarely feel clear-headed. This is a prison. I will not enjoy it. And so that was a Selfish Machines experience. I've had like several Selfish Machines experiences, many which feel like quintessential in understanding like what I'm going through right here. But yeah. Some other things that I just wanted to mention, like Pierce the Veil has been like incredibly like significant through all of this. And like there's like things that have become like really like important and relevant in my life as of late that were like never important before. And it's kind of like a natural succession of like me changing so rapidly. Like I moved, got rid of a lot of my friends. I've moved like fucking 5 times this year. Like to like just different apartments by myself. Like that's weird. I'm like that's like weird. And like just things that I like never mattering to me now. And I begin to realize things that are really important to me now. For like long time I wasn't able to remember like my past outside of like this year for some reason. And as I started to be able to remember them, I should have taken a bite. I realized that my like the things that like happened in my past, and like I have a good memory. I can remember these things like pretty like visually, audibly, you know. It's not like I'm like back in there, but I can still like, you know, like it's just a memory, you know. I can remember shit. And so I realized like a lot of the things that are prevalent now that haven't been were things that like that were like consistently brought up throughout like years and years and years of my life, but just that I like never like realized or picked up on. I like shit inside of my mouth. But like stuff that I never like thought about. And it's just kind of made me realize that like not only because I was under the impression that like I was living a normal life, you know. I'm just like posted up on Earth, you know, we out here 20, you know, fucking vibing out and shit. And I thought that like, you know, I'm just living on Earth, you know, just like any motherfucker. And like I thought that when I got coronavirus, like it like fucked with my like soul or something, and I thought that I had been like blipped out of like time space like by the sheer magnitude of like how bad coronavirus like fucked with my body and fucked with like my mental health, like legitimately. But it was in these moments where I started remembering like my past more that I realized no, this has been going on my entire life. And so it's very odd to try to pin down how I want to like assign worth to my memories. And because I've been consistently lied to my entire life, I realize, and that's not me throwing a pity party. I'm very thankful for the things that I've gotten because at least in the way that I was taught, I shouldn't expect the things that I have for what I do. That's what I was taught. So I'm still very thankful for like having things that I do have. But I've realized recently that I like I haven't been shown respect or had a healthy relationship with one person my entire life. And I'm like nice. I'm a cool person. I like do things for people and I go out of my way for people. And, you know, like I give money to homeless people. I like fucking like I like used to like get there was like a time I don't know, like I just fucking like I go out of my way to like help people, and I like make sure to like be kind and like, you know, just compliment like a stranger on their shirt because like you don't know if they're having a bad day, and like that could be like the thing that like boosts their confidence enough for them to have a good day, you know, like just like those little things. Like I'm like really conscious of that shit. I like being nice. I like being sweet. I like saying fucking shit and fucking like being fucking like gross and stuff. But you know, like I can't stop burping, but I'm not like a mean-spirited person. I'm just not. But and like I like have like put in like active work and like a lot of thought into like my own behavior cycles before any of this like weird jail shit started, right? Lots of like breaking my cycles, lots of like CBT, DBT kind of stuff to be able to like identify like codependent like behaviors and avoiding those, and like figuring out how to like you know, like I don't know, fucking I thought I was autistic or some shit, you know? Like I just like seemed to not understand. And so like I figured it out, and like I've had relationships like since being like 18 and 19 where, you know, I was like aware of like these like skills to have healthy relationships. And so like I would be assertive, but like comfortably assertive. And like I would like set boundaries, you know, but like we would like talk about, you know, like I wouldn't just like fucking like set like be like, hey, I just want to let you know that like you're crossing my boundaries right now, so like I'm gonna need you to like you know, like not like that, but like me and my like roommate, we both felt like we were institutionalized, and so like we both realized that like we could have like a relationship where we would both feel comfortable like being like, hey, like will you please stop doing like blah 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 blah, it's making me uncomfortable for blah 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 reason, like just, you know, like setting boundaries, like confronting like things that we like that are making us uncomfortable, and like knowing that like everything will be like cool, because like conflict does not equal aggression. It's okay to like disagree and like admit that like you're uncomfortable in whatever situation, and like still know that like just like talking about it, you know, like just like I don't know, like it's a fucking relationship, you know, like and so like even with putting those things into practice, I was still like fucked over. I like in every relationship that I've ever had, I have not had anybody in my life where I was given more than I received. And that sounds selfish inherently, but I mean like by an exponential rate. I haven't even been like matched, you know, like like, and I don't fucking like spoil like my fucking friends and fucking gifts or whatever, but it's like I get used like every time. And like the only way that I've like found to have that stop happening is to literally eliminate people out of my life. Like I try like literally like every fucking suggestion that you can give me for like dealing with people and having healthy relationships and like asserting yourself and setting boundaries and following through with them, like you can give me every fucking trick in the book, I may as well have written the fucking book. Like I have done it persistently, and still here I am alone. And that's just like something else that I find incredibly interesting. I try really hard to be satisfied with like my day-to-day life, and I try really hard to feel fulfilled in like what I'm doing and like my pursuit for like what's like really unknown to me, but like it feels right, you know, just like trying to figure out like what's going on and like how I can like fix it, quote unquote. And like just feeling fulfilled in that, and like just being happy, you know, despite like everything that like goes on around me. And like it seems like not that much would go on around me. Like I'm in my apartment in fucking Nampa, Idaho. There's like 40,000 people that live out here, but here we are, like but I like definitely cannot deny that this has like been not okay. Like to put it simply, like my water has been poisoned, my air has been poisoned, like I consistently get gassed. I fell far too ill for like to be able to get a job, but like, and like I like there's like outside forces at play. I feel very comfortable saying like they and like, you know, kind of thing. But like I had like everything taken from me, like my just everything, like every source of comfort was taken from me. My bed, I had like a really nice air mattress because I had like, you know, I was like a broke fucking kid, like I just like moved into the city like from my fucking mom's house, like whatever. my bed broke, my guitar string popped, my fucking car started acting weird, my fucking stereo broke, my laptop broke, my phone started acting weird, I lost my fucking journal that I, like, had, like, so much written in, my apartment got fucking robbed, people were trying to break into my apartment, I was getting followed by the police, this all happened in, like, a fucking span of, like, a month, and then it's just been, like, aftermath, and then, like, this weird, like, psychological, like, warfare, it almost seems like. I have consistently had to, like, be on my toes mentally and physically to remain afloat, which feels ridiculous because I'm looking at myself, I look perfectly normal, I look tired, I haven't washed my face yet, I'm gonna straighten my hair, but, like, I'm looking at, like, my, like, apartment, and, like, I've killed it, you know, like, it's really cute, it's a vibe, like, we just hang out, but to just hang out and, like, sit in silence and hear nothing in my head, and, like, not hear my fucking, like, house settle and get scared for, like, a reason that I can't remember, like, I've had to put in so much work and, like, take so many fucking risks and, like, endure, like, a lot of fucking pain and, like, uncertainty, and, like, just the fabric of my being, like, has been, like, ripped, like, so many times. I've gotten, like, incredibly philosophical, like, whilst being here, because the concept of, like, me and the concept of self and the concept of you and the concept of we and us and, like, what those mean have been stripped and replaced with different concepts and different people and different versions of my fucking self time and time and time and time and time and time again. And it, like, chokes me up because, like, I have legitimately had to try, like, incredibly hard just to, like, remember, like, who I am and, like, who my mom is. Like, who's actually my mom, you know? Like, if this is all fake, like, who's my mom? Who are my friends? Because the people that I call my friends here never, looking back, they were never kind to me. I mean, there's definitely, like, people who have been nice to me, but, like, it's not the same, and I, like, when you get memories of, like, things outside of here, then it's like, well, am I this person, or am I the person outside of here, and is the person outside of here like me, or are they something else, and are they something that I would like, and what about the people that, you know, like, those are, like, really heavy fucking questions, and when it's just you, like, I don't have anybody to ask. Like, I don't have people to fucking, like, message that could give me fucking answers. I don't have anything to fucking type into Google that could give me any answers. When I type shit into Google, that has something to do with this, I fucking get gassed, you know? Like, this is, like, not okay, and, like, it's really painful going back and forth, like, convincing myself that it is okay, and, like, feeling comfortable, like, living like this, and then, like, having something happen, and then I realize that it's no longer okay, and it never was, and it's incredibly, like, mortifying, and I feel like my privacy has been invaded, just incredibly, so yeah, y'all should listen to more Pierce the Veil. That's pretty much the only thing I have to say, outside of that. Somebody find George Floyd. I don't know, like, what, like, I don't know if, you know, like, I don't know, like, where I am, or when I am, but somebody, like, I'm, like, if I'm, like, I've, like, I'm not, like, I've thought that, like, maybe I'm in the past, like, maybe I'm on, like, a separate timeline, like, this is definitely, like, not, I'm not living with people, you know, I'm not living with, like, the rest of the world right now, for whatever reason, and so, like, if, like, that hasn't happened yet, someone go fucking find him, because, like, that, like, needs to not happen, like, there were, like, several other people who have, like, I mean, hundreds that have died at the hands of, like, police brutality, but this started a whole slew of things that if left unchecked, will evolve into, like, a living hell for, like, a shit ton of people. So, like, let's all fucking, like, try to find George Floyd, okay? And, like, I hope that, like, we're able to do something, because, like, no one should ever feel how I'm feeling and how I felt, especially this time span, this, like, last 6 months. Nobody, there's, like, one person, no, honestly, nobody deserves to feel like this. There's, like, people that I'm upset with for how they've, like, treated me during my life, but, they don't deserve this. This has been, like, fucking awful. The happiest and, like, the shittiest days of my life, simultaneously, and, like, retroactively. It's been difficult, but this is, like, way longer than I thought, and it got a lot heavier than I thought it was going to, but, yeah, I'm hoping that this is, like, this fucking is for a reason, but, yeah. I'm like, damn, I'm like, okay, fucking bulletproof love-ass bitch, like,